You can teach someone how to sell real estate. You can teach someone how to, do vendor management. You can teach someone how to qualify. You can teach someone how to do all these things. You can't teach hunger though. So when I'm interviewing someone, I want to know that someone's here willing to learn. So two things. They have an expectation to learn and actually want to become the best they possibly can be, and that they're going to be hungry. And if they've got those two things, then the expectation will grow over the time that you actually hire them. So like I got a couple of new guys in my team who are somewhat quite green in the real estate space, but they all want to learn. They're all willing to get in early. They're willing to leave late. They're willing to pick up the phones. They're willing to fail, and most importantly, they're willing to learn from me. So the expectation can come as you meet with them and you lead them because the expectation set by you as the leader. But in terms of actually in the interview space, I think the most important thing is understanding, do they want to learn and how hungry are they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Thank
I
you.
had a conversation with Con from McGrath Parramatta this week. He says his words were he hires for will, not skill.
Yeah, there
It
you
was a,
go.
it was a
That's
good one. Exactly what Mac was just saying.
that's a
Um,
sexier way of what I than what I said, essentially.
Absolutely. Hire for skill, hire for will, not skill. But what's your process from pre-qualifying? I'll say it like this. What's your process from pre-qualifying a seller to
Hmm.
then booking the appointment? What do you do between the phone call and turning up to their and knocking on their door? What do you do in there?
Yeah, awesome. So firstly, I'll book in the appointment and then I'll just send Siobhan a text straight away. So Siobhan's my EA, everyone. And I'll just say time, the property address, and the price. Now, she knows exactly what needs to, if depending on the price point, the area, like she knows me and what I want. So she'll have, as soon as I send that to her, goes in my diary. She then sends out a pre-list email. Now, depending on what property it is, we've got different pre-list emails. So if it's a property over 7 million in Paddington Wallara, there's a particular, we call it a substantial pre-list kit. And that goes out via email or another one. So pre-list email goes out straight away. She adds it to my diary. And then I don't do anything again until the morning of. I text them first thing in the morning when I wake up. Hi, so and so. I'm confirming our meeting. Really excited about today's meeting. And then mate,
You'll,
Siobhan had
you'll,
my pre-list on my desk ready to go.
sorry, Mac, you'll
All right.
send the text on the morning of saying, "Hey, it's Maclay, just confirming Fiona today, 1 o'clock."
Every time. Yeah.
And then
I do all my appointments. So as soon as I finish at the gym, just before I meditate, I sit there for 20 minutes and I text any single appointment I have. Like some days it takes me 20 minutes sometimes because I've got, five listings, six buyer appointments, um, few phone calls, scheduled calls with vendors, and I'll text them all. Really pumped about our meeting today. Really excited to see you. This is my most exciting meeting for the day. But I also
but
like
what a
doing it.
great, sorry.
I was just gonna say, I also like doing it though too, because like I pump them all up. People do hire me for my energy. Like I do believe that. I create good energy at my listing appointments, my buyer appointments. People feed into that. It's an energy game. And when they get a text message off me, they wake up to a text message from me saying like I write lame stuff as well. Like I'll write what a day with a sun. Like I write shit like
You'll
that all
do
the time.
whatever. You'll just be
Yeah,
out there.
100%. And I pump them up. And like when I do that and then I'm delivering them bad news, like it helps a little bit.
Yeah, what I see in that is the utmost confidence. I see positivity. I see he's not being a typical real estate agent, is what I see, which is a good thing. He's being himself. So how can you bring your best self, whatever your personality is? You don't have to be Maclay. I'm not Maclay, but how can we bring who we are to that process? So you'll have it all prepared. You'll go and one listing or reappoint, or depends on the client, or and how much time you're spending at the listing typically.
Always one listing, never more. I'll do everything I possibly can not to write a proposal afterwards either. So I'll give them everything they need to have in that listing appointment. The only thing I'll do afterwards is I don't give prices so that I get a chance to do a follow-up call. My follow-up call calls my close. So essentially I'll go in, I'll talk to them about the property. Um, and my whole focus on my listing appointment is only on how I can get them the best price. Only.
Good. you've got a couple of sellers on your pipeline,
Hmm.
uh, and you're short of stock, which you're not short of stock usually. But have you got a is what? How can you coach us in progressing someone who wants to sell in the next 6 months?
Hmm.
Can Maclay or can we progress that pipeline seller to get on the market in March or April?
Definitely. I think when you look at all agents, right, who hold a lot of stock, you coach most of them, IB. Like when you look at those particular agents, they don't just get calls all day and just list them and they all come on and then you've got 15, 20 auction campaigns. It's not really how it works. It works by the agent progressing every single phone call and every single listing appointment and every single action that they do to get everyone on the market as quickly as they possibly can. Because I know that the quicker I can get it on, the quicker I meet more sellers, the quicker I sell it, the quicker more sellers call me off the back of that, and the more my business continues to grow. It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. So the quicker you can get them on, the better. To answer your question though, Ivan, around how do you do that? It's different at all different times of the year. I think the most important thing is you use two things to your advantage: the market, number one, and number two is timing. So, as an example, every agent should have been using the federal election last year in December, in November, December listings. Every agent should have been using the federal election to their advantage to get people on the market in January. We had a federal election. We're not sure when it's going to be called. It could even be called as early as March. It could be April. It could be May. We're not sure. There's going to be a bottleneck full of stock just before that election happens. What I would recommend we do is let's get it on early. There's a lot of urgency in the market in January. We ran 18 campaigns. Nine of them sold in January last year. I think it's a great time to sell. If you can put your trust in me, I think we photograph it this side of the year. We get it ready. We can launch it on the 10th or 15th of January, and we can get it on. Otherwise, they go, oh, we're going to wait a little bit and we're going to do this. You just keep on giving them confidence about why you think that they should list earlier. When there's winter coming, look, July is not a very good time to sell. I think that we should be trying to get on earlier. I'm actually a little bit skeptical about the back end of the year. I wouldn't wait until spring to try and sell your property. There's not a lot of stock right now. Let's take advantage of low stock levels. Let's get this on now before the winter starts. Let's get that on now. In July, I'm away, and a vendor calls me and goes, oh, I want to sell. I want to sell in spring. So, what does spring look like to you? Spring looks like, September, October. Can I give you a recommendation? Yes. September, October is going to bottleneck full of stock. What I'd recommend is why don't we start in August when there's going to be competing with less? We'll get you a better price. We'll get you a long settlement, and then you can be a buyer while stock levels are high. How does that sound? Oh, that sounds better. Okay, cool. Let me come over on Tuesday and talk to you about that. Like stuff like that. So I always just use the market and timing to my advantage. But the most important thing is progressing everyone as much as you possibly can. Because everyone goes, oh no, like I'll do whatever you want to do, Mr. and Mrs. Vendor. Um, and they just keep on putting it out. How many times have you heard a vendor go, no, 2 more weeks, no, another month? Guys, we need to get it on right now. The market might change later this year or whatever it might be.
Yeah. Well, nice one, mate. It reminds me too. I saw something on social media recently where someone said pretty much every successful person has urgency. Like you can't be
Mm.
successful without urgency. And I was like, that's so true.
Yeah.
So like whatever stage you're at, guys and girls, understand that you're competing with other agents that have a level of urgency too. So you have to match that and bring that and keep pushing people either to buy now or to list now. Mac, you see a lot of agents, you employ a number of them. What's the biggest mistakes you're seeing that they're making right now?
The biggest mistakes agents are making. I don't know. It's a tough question. Do you know what I'm teaching a lot to my staff at the moment, which will answer that question a little bit? There's like I find when you want to be a high performing agent or you want to improve your business or you want to have your best year yet or whatever it might be, there's two common goals that I'm trying to teach on my team at the moment. There's number one, there's energy, and there's number two, there's planning. If you can nail both of those, I don't care who you are, you will 100% have your best year yet. 100%. It's actually a non-negotiable. Energy and planning. Now, energy comes down to Ivan talks about this a lot, and you've helped me a lot with this, IB, and I'm very, very appreciative. And I know there's a lot of other agents in Australia that say the same thing. Energy is all about not what you can add, but what you can actually let go of. And what I mean by that is what you eat. whether you're drinking, all that sort of stuff that because this is an energy game, you want to have the best energy you possibly can. If you can come into the office, like I get in the office probably around 7:30 in the morning, and then I'll leave. I try not to leave too late, but throughout the day, my energy level is peaking the whole day. Like I don't really have that many bad dips. Like I'm pretty high, but in order to have that, I used to have huge dips, especially in the afternoon, of really challenging where I'm like, fuck, I'm wrecked. Like I don't know if I can get like this is going to be a tough couple of listings this afternoon, or far out. I don't know if I can get through this next call session. Like challenging. What I found was I kept trying to go, okay, I want to have more supplements. I want to do this. It's actually not about that. It's about what are you actually doing? What can I decrease? And then in terms of like what you're eating, whether you're drinking a lot of alcohol, how much are you actually socializing? I'm not saying don't socialize and stuff like that, but it all counts. Like if you're going out on a Thursday night with your mates for dinner and then you're getting home at 10 p.m. and you're going to have to wake up at 5 a.m., are you going to have the best energy Friday morning by 10 a.m.? Probably not.